again, the convergence of blockchain and AI. Now, with AI, you can expect within this year, we're going to see deepfake so real, you cannot tell the difference. People watching this on live stream, they will not know what's in here.
We're not here.
We're having dinner somewhere else. So to counter that, you need some form of digital watermark. That is actually a cryptographic evidence
that this is real.
Yeah. It's my signature, his signature.
Who puts that? The tech companies? By the way, they're so excited at the back. They're trading crypto on the back of these comments.
It's all your fault. No, we control our private key. It's going to be public
It'll
key.
be personal.
We'll have control.
It's going to be like your irises, your fingerprints. It'll be a digital.
But it's stored on blockchain, witnessed by the global population.
Everybody knows.
Cannot be faked.
Yeah. But does this change everything for just capital markets?
It will. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, if we could tokenize bonds and stocks tomorrow, one of the great things that BlackRock is being accused of is how much vote we have. I wouldn't vote anymore because we would be able, through tokenization, to know the owner of record instantaneous, and each owner of record will do their proxy voting. I would love that outcome. No, but it would democratize investing in all ways that we can't imagine.
Even political systems, how you vote in a country can be changed by that.
And do you think that, again, the Trump administration will accelerate that?
I think they're moving that direction. How far they actually will go remains to be seen.
But if you do have a digital validator, like your fingerprints or your irises, I mean, you could tokenize voting. You could do everything. And so it will change how we think and how we live and what we do. And
we've been talking to some Southeast Asian governments, including Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. All of them historically have the populations who are trading black market, bitcoins and what have you. But now the governments are realizing US is driving a global policy shift. So they're now doing something very clever. They're saying, you know what, we're going to issue a new form of digital ID to every single citizen. Along with that is a digital wallet.
Which Brazil and India has already done.
You're both so
I mean, if you ask me right now, the thing that is not talked about enough, but is coming to your neighborhood faster than you think, this AI revolution is not made up. It's not overhyped. You are already, they're probably, I know I was talking to some people backstage who are associated with businesses here in the Hartford community. I guarantee you, you're going to start seeing shifts in white-collar work as a consequence of what these new AI models can do. And so that's going to be more disruption, and it's going to speed up.
The thing that terrifies me is apparently there are still some financial institutions that will accept a voice print as authentication for you to like move a lot of money or do something else. You say a challenge phrase and they just do it. That is a crazy thing to still be doing. Like AI has fully defeated that. AI has fully defeated most of the ways that people authenticate currently, other than like passwords, but all of these like fancy, you know, take a selfie and wave or do your voice or whatever. I am very nervous that we have an impending, significant impending fraud crisis because of this. We have tried, I think other people in our industry have tried to sort of warn people like, hey, just because we're not releasing the technology doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Some bad actor is going to release it. This is not a super difficult thing to do. This is coming very, very soon. And, you know, there's obviously some reports now of these sort of like ransom attacks where people have the voice of your kid or your parent and they make this urgent call. That is going to get so compelling. Society has to deal with this problem more generally, but people are going to have to change the way they interact. They're going to have to change the way they verify, like this person calling me. Right now it's a voice call. Soon it's going to be a video FaceTime. It'll be indistinguishable from reality. And teaching people how to authenticate in a world like that, how to think about, you know, the fraud impacts. This is a huge deal.
Does the Prime Minister foresee a decline in religious tolerance in the near future in Singapore?
I do not foresee, I have already seen. That is the secret of tolerance, that you have a generation in charge, like me, by and large secular in our approach, definitely in how to govern a country, and only too ready to concede the spiritual to personal beliefs, to whichever religion or religious group can convince you. Provided the two are kept separate, that the religion contests your right to believe in certain values, but not to the extent that you push a government into implementing those values at the expense of other groups. Muslims tell me that's not possible. Islam is a total, all-embracing philosophy. The charismatic Christians tell me the same. And if this goes on, we're going to have unpleasantness. My simple position is, let's stop it before it's too late. It's all silly. However hard the Christians can try, they are not going to make Singapore a Christian society. It's just not possible. So I tell these Christian groups, let's have a sense of proportion. Let's live and let live. You're not going to change the world. Maybe you change a few individuals for a very brief period of time, maybe a few years. He gets excited and he's seen the light. But he's got to live. I think sensible, sensitive, but firm government will ride this patch. Soft government, trying to accommodate everybody, will lead to big mischief.
Good education means to create disobedience. When they ask me, what's good education? I said to create dissatisfaction, to create disobedience. I teach creativity and dissidence. And usually, the first class, when I go to my class, I tell them, I cannot teach creativity. I cannot teach dissidence. But what I can do is to undo what education did to you. Creativity is to use our common sense, to use our brains. But education prevents us from losing our brains. We use the brains of our professors, and we quote them all the time. We never quote ourselves, and we lose self-confidence by education, because that's how the educational system serves the political system. Each political system has a system of education to control the mind of the people. Without controlling the mind of the people, you cannot rule them. You cannot dominate them. And this is universal. And the education system is more or less a police system to control the mind. It's like to veil the mind, in fact. So my mind was veiled. When I graduated from the medical college, I was a very good surgeon, very good physician, but I was ignorant of what's happening in the world. I asked myself, why people become poor? Why the society is divided to poor and rich and classes? Why men oppress women, etc. So this questioning, we are prevented from these questions by education. We become obedient to the system, to the professors, to university. And what is dissidence? Dissidence is to say no to a system that is very unjust. If the law is unjust, I have to break it. It's my right. This is common sense. Creativity means common sense. But when we are educated in a very fragmentary way. We receive pseudo-knowledge, not real knowledge. So I had to re-educate myself.
Welcome back, everyone. one. So let me take you to what happened in Kaduna and the backlash. So, Bashir Darato, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has accused President Bola Tinubu of neglecting and sidelining the northern part of the country. The two-day interactive session in Kaduna, where Darato alleged that Tinubu's administration sidelined the north despite massive support he received from the region in the 2023 elections. They'll have to record how President
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hajo de Dios. I was at the pronounce your name well. Welcome. Wherever you will be joining from, or anytime you will be coming in contact with this video, please like, share, and subscribe. That's all I ask of you. This is pretty much a continuation of what I have been talking about since the beginning of this presidential electoral cycle. It is my belief that this 2027 presidential election is more about defeating Tinubu, but more about how do we stop Obi from the northern perspective. I mean, if consciously we all are beginning to accept the reality they put before us, which is turn by turn, even though it's not constitutionally, it has no constitutional backing, but gentleman agreement, as they say, is playing out, especially among the elites. All of them are in agreement, from Peter Obi to whoever. They're in agreement of this gentleman, this turn by turn agreement. All you need to do is to pay attention to their rhetoric. I mean, one time presidency speak volume of itself. But beneath that, one cannot overlook the fight between the North and the Southeast, which at the center of it all is ideology, religious ideology. Start from Nigeria, and it's not going to end in Nigeria. So somebody has to lead, especially at the point whereby Nigeria is pretty much cannot be categorized in terms of sense of leadership, focus, and what Nigeria is about. So I have that belief that there will come a time where a radical group or an individual will come and take the elephant in the room by the horn. Nigeria have to have a sense of direction. Be it Islamic ideology, be it the Catholicism, or be it the technocracy that is pretty much here. One has to lead, and I believe that time is now. Nigeria is closing 70 years. 80 years is pretty much a cycle. That's Nigeria that we all know will die sooner than later, and a new one will be bettered. It's a process, and that process is pretty much on. So the interview that we're about to listen to speak volume of that struggle. Hey, just say you try. Turn by turn, no, nah, turn by turn, no, be wait for turn. As a reward, make you be wait for a turn. But you have to put up a fight now. You turn by turn no means say you no go, you won't fight. That doesn't mean say don't be some. I mean, I made it on the stand up again. He's also want to be in that club battle. So what Obi is doing is pretty much paving his way. If to say he no stand up, it will not be no Obi of today. But that by the side. So turn by turn, I'm not belong to that school, but it's as if those who propagate that agreements are taking the lead. So the stage is set and the air is taken with anticipation. The 2027 Nigerian presidential election isn't just about defeating President Buhari. It is a deeper clash, a struggle for the soul of the nation. The North, long a political powerhouse. I know some people say, oh, some say the North. Even the guy we're about to listen to was speaking about. It's our reality, right? It is a deeper clash, a struggle for the souls of the nation. The North, they long a political powerhouse, face a formidable challenge in Peter Obi, because people don't seem to understand this, right? Other than good luck that was just handpicked from nowhere, every other president viewed his way to the point that you can't ignore him. Buhari is the obvious one with his followership. From day one, he went there 1, 2, 3, 4 times before he eventually got there. Tinubu, even though his followership is not as visible as that of Buhari, pretty much followed the same process. A build, it started from somewhere, and here he is today. So Obi is pretty much following that trajectory, right? It started by 4 people tweeting in the room. Today, they have 6 million going on strong. So that 6 million is where is what the North did not see coming, and they don't want to take any chance. If not, to go from 4 people tweeting in the room to 6 million, I think is the hardest part. To go from 6 million to 12 million, it go easy. And that's what is at stake here. That's the fear of the North. So the North, with the way Obi is going, the North are not just faced with the problem of who will they come together consensus-wise to support, to challenge Obi popularity, but they also need a message. Because Obi message is beginning to resonate far and wide. Right? The poor, the rich, the educated, the illiterate are beginning to see come. There's something about what this man is saying. But most importantly, I say, for everybody to the coming against every statement this man made, I mean, there's something about this guy. And if you are a political student, if you are an historian, you understand that fire don't catch already. To quench him, it go hard. So Peter be a man whose momentum is shaking the foundations of Nigerian political landscape. There, when Buhari popularity became very obvious that you can't ignore. Anytime we demand speak, before he became president, anytime we demand speak, it resonated across the length and breadth of the country. Every newspaper won't carry him. Every news channel won't talk about what Buhari says and what Buhari thinks, especially at the peak of Boko Haram insurgents. The same thing with Tinubu. People were not paying attention. Tinubu, after his governorship, 8 years in Lagos, the guy not the visible like that in terms of practically out there in every function, no. But anytime he spoke or he put out a communique, media rush. I mean, you can say, oh yes, he was pretty much in control of the media. I mean, 20-25% of the media, especially that of Lagos. However you want to say it, it is a strategy for you to speak in your comfort whether village, anywhere you speak, and every national media is analyzing what you say, means you have arrived, politically speaking. And you begin to see that with Obi too. Anything we will be talk. Everybody wants to criticize him. So Obi has come of age that whether you like it or not, you have to factor him to your calculation. I talk him before, say, anywhere you are, doesn't matter who you is. If you have a mission of running for president, to become a president within the next 15 years, wherever you is, wherever you are, as you they permutate, you strategize, Obi will always be at the back of your mind. That's not easy to come back. So Obi's appeal cut across divides, igniting hope in the South and beyond, with a vision that resonates in places weary of the old guard. If the North doesn't counter Obi's rise politically, strategically, decisively by 2031, they risk losing their grip. This isn't about one man, it's about a movement. Obi's message of reform, economic revival, and unity is a tide that has to stem. So gradually, whatever that Obi believes in, his message begin to resonate in every institution in Nigeria, every organization, every political group are beginning to see Obi's words, view, and movements in their midst. That is a new Nigeria unfolding. People who were born after the Civil War, let me say 3 out of every 5 people that are born after the Civil War agree with Obi's message. Sees that Obi's message is the way to go. They might disagree with him as a person or his ways on how he's doing things, but they cannot overlook what he is talking about. Only those who were born before the Civil War see him as a threat or his message as triggering because they can relate. So the ignorance of those of us who were born after the Civil War is becoming an asset. The fact that they refuse to teach us what led to the Civil War is now becoming an asset. We are no longer interested. This is what we want. Now, it is too late for them to now say, oh, you need to understand what happened yesterday. What? No, it's too late. Yes, we want to learn about the past, we want to acknowledge the past exists, but guess what? The reality of today is different. Whether we like it is not even about what the old guys want, it's about the reality that is facing us now, which is a new technology, new way of life, a new way, the way we'll be doing things. How do we make sure we are not a victim just like we were yesterday? So the old guard are in their last phase of fighting for what they had so dear. What makes them who they are today? What gave them this little prosperity, whatever that they are enjoying? It's up. It's going, even human cycle. Now 4, every 20 years is a generation, right? Anybody that live up to see 4 generation is one of the most lucky human beings. So when Buhari died in his 80s, people were like, I said, that man fucking live all his cycles. So is a nation state. Whether we like it or not, change is here. The next 10, 15 years, we decide what Nigeria will become for the next 50 to 100 years. So is the world, led by America. So the North must rally, unify its base, and present a vision that revels Obi's clarity. Failure to do so could see them outmaneuvered, not just in 2027, but for the years to come. The clock is ticking. Will they adapt, or will Obi wave, sweep them aside? So listening to Assad, and I think that's exactly what they are doing. They are looking for a message, someone that will rally and unify the base with one message, regardless of what the elders of the North think or stand. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of it all, they will come together for one goal. Doesn't matter how the young criticize the old or how the old see the young. At the end of the day, they find one way to say this is the way forward. That's the beauty of the North. That's how politically sophisticated they are.
Candidates of the major political parties, including President Tinubu, attended an interactive session in Kaduna on the 17th of October 2022. He noted that during the interactive session, President Tinubu promised to address the challenges facing the North. According to him, quote, to our surprise, those who did not support him did not vote and hardly wished him well, have emerged from nowhere and are trying to push a wedge between him and the North. Whether or not they are succeeding, we do not know. But we cannot pretend not to observe that President Tinubu's budget priorities, his infrastructural project, his appointment, and other executive actions have, over the last 2 years, largely sidelined Northern Nigeria. The federal government's budget priorities, infrastructure project, investment, and even social services have been openly skewed against Northern Nigeria. He's accused the president of allegedly doing little or nothing to address the major issues of concern to the North. Let's push the conversation forward. Alwan Hassan is a son of Kano and a member of the APC. Is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much, Alwan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Shehu.
Is there indeed a wedge between this government and Northern Nigeria?
No. This group of people,
the ACF,
are opposition. We have tackled them, we battled them under Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari, and we will still do it this time. They are not for the North. And that's what I want to make clear.
The elders, these are elders of the North.
They are not. We had only 6 years of elders in the North, and those are the likes of Sardauna. They are not our elders.
Bashir Dala too?
They are not speaking for the North.
The Arawa Consultative Forum?
Yes. And I'll take you through and I'll give you reasons why. Infrastructure is not the problem of the North. We don't need infrastructure from the federal government in the North. What we need in the Northern Nigeria is unity, and they know it. Unite us. An Idoma man cannot be governor of Benue State. A Muslim in Plateau State cannot be speaker in the State Assembly. A Christian minority in Borno State cannot be a governor. You are from Kwara and a Christian. Can you be a governor of Kwara State? These are our problems. Religion and tribe. Let there be one religion, one tribe, and that should be the Northern Nigeria. Let them unite us. The federal government will come asking us to give them. We have 424 local governments, every of which have economic potentials to tap into it. We have vast lands. We own the land in Nigeria. Fertile, travel from here to Borno and see. Level down. When you're coming back, traveling from outside, see how Borno is. That's when you start descending. See the lands in the Northern Nigeria. But people cannot go to farm because Christians are killing Muslims, Muslims are killing Christians. I don't want this Christian to be this. I don't want this Muslim. This is Ibibio. This is Braha. This is the problem in Northern Nigeria. And they caused it.
So you're one of those who say leadership is a major problem in the North?
Yes. We don't have it. The groups that are supposed to be leaders are political.
What you are seeing playing out here is they are preparing the ground for somebody younger, radical, and futuristic to come and lead the youth against this entrenched establishment of the North. It reminds me of the MAGA movement against the Republican GOP. It took them almost 10 years, but they succeeded. That's exactly what you see playing out. By 2021, we are going to see one person from the North, younger, radical, futuristic, and most importantly, technologically savvy, that will come and gather and articulate this message that this man is putting out, that will resonate among the diverse youth of the North. And by so doing, La Kantampata Shantarabobosi Katayata. It will not take much to also sweep across the North and the South of the country. And we are going to have a revolution. So if somebody can rise up and take on exactly what this man is saying, take on the establishment of the North, politically speaking, interesting days ahead.
These are Atiku people.
The ACF.
Absolutely.
Is that right for you to say that?
But I've seen them. We know the people that have joined them. A lot of people that are aggrieved in the party of APC have joined the ACF. This is a group
but
that is formed.
has been long-standing.
So, but I'll tell you, it has its political angles all the time. They are not for the northern Nigeria, Sheun.
But they represent a...
Okay, I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you, let me just say this, Sheun. If they are for the northern Nigeria, they have met the president during campaign. Let them tell us how many governors they have met during the campaigns. What did those governors promise? And how have they held them accountable? 19 states of the northern Nigeria. Have they ever written to any governor in the northern Nigeria?
Look at Alwan.
This president has been very fair with the governors. Immediately he removed subsidy. They triple the monies they collect after every fact. And he's been very transparent and giving them the money. And the governors are taking the money, some doing well, some they're stealing the money. ACF, Northern Elders Forum, every northerner that is outspoken and saying, I'm a northerner, I want the North to grow, ask your governors. There are governors there that are collecting billions and billions of naira every month from the federation account. Lazy people, not doing anything. And ACF will only be writing to the government. And in fact, in the items they wrote, education and health majorly are the responsibilities of states. States are supposed to be held responsible for health
but they said that the president made some promises. He said, these are the things I'm going to do.
In the promises he made.
And they look at the items,
okay.
Whether or not the president...
They were saying, you see, this is a script they brought before the event. But thank God the NSA was standing there, and the president was smart enough to say every appointee of the North should go to Kaduna. This is a script they wrote before the event. They didn't know it was going to happen like that. The NSA stood in front of them, told them how he has coordinated the service chiefs and how they have tackled a lot of issues pertaining to security. Showed them the pictures of bandits that were made wanted in the last 2 years and are now being neutralized. Sherwood is southern Kaduna, not northern Nigeria. Can't we celebrate the calmness in southern Kaduna today? Have you ever had this long-term calm in southern Kaduna in the last 10 years? What are we talking about?
Let's look at some of the issues that I raised. They said infrastructure, appointments. They said issues of governance that are being promised. Which major infrastructure would you say in the last 2 years that this government has bequeathed to the North?
Sokoto Badagry. They have awarded Kaduna Kano. Three governments financed Borno to Kano. Three governments from, I think, Obasanjo, Adua, Jonathan, and President Muhammadu Buhari Borno to Kano is 500 and something kilometers, times 2, because it's a dual carriageway. Times 2 is about 1,000 kilometers. Have you ever had any southerner calling out Borno to Kano? Why is this built? Give us something in the south because this is built. Tell me anywhere in the south that has ever had any good road, dual carriageway that is 500 kilometers. Abuja to Kano was constructed by IBB. Tell me any road in the south. So if they have a president today that is not concerned about their infrastructure, it's southern Nigeria, not Nigeria, showing these are people that wore badges of regions. You and I were born into United Nigeria. You don't love the country.
No, that may be too far.
But I'm just saying,
if you say they don't love the country,
but
if they have grievance, if they are grievance about how the country
Nigeria,
is run,
hold on, Shehu, let me carry my load. It's my opinion, and that is what it is.
But your opinion might be wrong.
If they love
it might be a wrong, a wrong representation of other people.
But hold on, let me say, then you now say your own part, because you are also from the north. If they love the people of Nigeria, they should speak for the people of Nigeria. They should speak for the citizens. They shouldn't speak for a region, because it is dividing us. They don't know that they have even divided the north. Why? Because of this. Why don't they speak about Nigeria? Why don't they say kudos to the security challenges we have and now are being achieved?
Look at what
a PDP governor of Zamfara State.
Somebody is coming. A group is coming. That the message is not going to be conventional. Obi try, but Obi they fear, because Obi, what Obi is about is also built by the system, by this old gag gentleman agreement. So yes, how far Obi can go. But I foresee somebody, a group is coming, and I trust they not. They will come with a message that will resonate so deep across the length and breadth of the country. And we ain't got no choice than to go with that person. That's exactly what this man is saying. He might disagree with how he's phrasing it, but there is a future there that the man is clearly opening our eyes to see. If only you can just put a lot of sentiments behind us and see exactly what he's saying. We are those that born into one Nigeria. This is after the Civil War. What's the thing?
Dawda Lawal has come out to say that the soldiers on ground are making successes. You don't want us to celebrate it. Your platform reported last week, Monday, that DSS killed 45 bandits in Shiroro, Niger State. They don't want us to celebrate it. They don't want us to say that achievements are me, I even want the president to start dashing our security agents' money, just the way we do.
President Tinubu garnered 8.7 million votes in 2023. Of that sum, 63% of that vote is from the north. And if the leaders of the north are voicing out in this way, they are aggrieved. Isn't that 63% minus the possibility of 11 to 12 million votes? Just for a moment, a potential 11 to 12 million votes of Muhammadu Buhari that the man is gone into the grave with.
One of the most foolish arguments why I always hear is about, the North give the highest votes is something for. Of course. No, but then they say that's where the number is. If the majority of the people live there, is it not normal that the highest numbers of votes will be coming from there? Anything short than that is abnormal. The idea that, the North gives 70% of all total vote, that's what's supposed to be. That's where the population is. Regardless of how they vote, their percentage will always be higher. Like, it boggles me when people, they use that to say, as if they are making a point. The North contribute. Of course, now they get the benefit of everything more. So the population is there. It's no brainer that the number coming out of there should be higher. Anything short than that is abnormal. And it's fall along the same argument that, nobody can become president without the North. Yes, nobody can become president without the South either. So how is that supposed to be an argument or a point that somebody will be open his loud mouth and be making? Oh, nobody can become president without the North. For God's sake, that is the heart of the country. Who else can become a president without the South?
62% of votes that the North gave to Bola Tinubu, is it not threatened by what the Dalatu and the ACF are saying?
Shehu, they've never supported us. They've never supported us.
He said they voted, they supported. That in fact, it is the president that is bringing those who did not support him into his government.
So that is why the issue is. I want to take you there. So that is why the issue is. They wanted something. They wanted appointments. They wanted something. And the president is focused on development. That is just it. He's focused on people that will deliver.
Or maybe the president is also, just remember, maybe the president is also politically making some errors.
Because, but he's human, but we have seen it that he makes mistakes and he makes amends.
You focus on governance, but you have to, the politics side of governance, you have to also drive it. And I'll give you an example. Fayemi in his book talked about how sensitive leaders must be. After Fayemi lost the re-election, and I remember now Akinrotimi, who was his principal private secretary at the time in Ekiti State, came out and gave out and I've read both men's book, either Fayemi's book or Akinrotimi's book, about how the people of Ekiti State wanted something, and those people in government wanted another. So, for example, I remember vividly that in Ekiti at the time, they were asking people in each community, what would you need? What would you need? What would you need? There was a particular community that they thought that they would need road. And that community said, we don't need road. What we need is a community center where our people can watch football match on Saturday, where we can hold weddings and all of that. So you'll be surprised why a community would pick a town hall over a road. Now, the priorities...
I mean, Shehu is making everything so obvious that, yes, I'm now an establishment person. Like, I mean, it's not even making any sense. If you say a committee come together and say this is what we want, that is not the voice of the community. Who are these members of the committee? I mean, I know they hear you well, Shehu. Let me see what you are saying.
At the time, they were asking people in each community, what would you need? What would you need? What would you need? There was a particular community that they thought that they would need road. And that community said, we don't need road. What we need is a community center where our people can watch football match on Saturday, where we can hold...
Shehu na lie. Shehu, stop. Shehu is trying so hard to make a point that is not there. Nah, lie. Nowhere in this fucking planet, not even in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, that will say, oh, we know one road, give us community center to what? Like, what the fuck, man, Shehu? And if you as a leader of a community will even go with that, there's something wrong with you. You don't deserve to be in that position. What the fuck? So Shehu is doing too much just to make sure. No, follow. Try again. Doesn't make sense.
Weddings and all of that. So you'll be surprised why a community would pick a town hall over a road.
Well, maybe in Ekiti anyway. Ekiti. If you say na Ekiti, well, I can't argue.
The priorities of the citizen and their needs are two different things. And that is politics and governance. You need to be able to understand the need of the people, which is governance, and the priorities of the people, which may not become their need, which is politics. Is the president missing that link?
No, not at all.
Don't just talk garbage.
The president has done very well in doing what he's supposed to do, in giving people good governance.
Well, why is the North angry?
Stop saying it's North now. Am I not a Northerner?
But those who spoke there are Northerners.
So, but are you taking me out of...
Hold on.
Is there any more Northerner than
they are your elders? ACF they are your elders.
Of course they are older. They are older than me. Yes, of course. I will not say they are not older because I'm not their mate. But why would we now be talking about self-appointed leaders? What is the criteria of being an ACF member? What makes them leaders in the northern Nigeria? Stop this thing, Shehu. Let's talk about the real issues. Just as you gave an example of Ekiti, and we are saying that if they do need assessment in the north, it is not infrastructure that we need. We'll build our infrastructure if they unite us, bring peace to the north, and we will develop our region.
All right, our concluding moments now with Alwana Hassan. Yeah, so you look at it, the president has never lost an election, either as a senator or as a governor.
And you will never lose an election.
You cannot so you cannot tell.
But I'm predicting. I'm predicting.
Okay.
With the facts on ground, he won't lose an election.
What makes you think so?
Because, of course, he is going to win. Who else do you think would defeat Asiwaju in 2027? Who? Peter Obi? That was on your program, saying he wants the North to support him and trust him. In the same program, he is celebrating building breweries in Anambra State and being the biggest importer of alcohol, and he wants the North to vote for him. We'll vote for a president that will import alcohol in the North. Or is it those ones that are saying their wives are taking care of them? We cannot hand over this country to people, to men that are being fed by their wives.
Who is being fed by his wife?
You know that? Somebody was here and said his wife is an entrepreneur and she's
Is it a crime to have a partner?
So, but we want a man that is a man of his house. We want a man that is in charge of his house. We don't want a man that a woman is feeding.
You don't want a man
we will not give a country,
that has a successful wife.
We will not. No. We will not give a country, hand over a country
that has
to a man that is being fed by a wife.
That the wife is successful.
No, to a man that is being fed by his wife. That's what I'm saying.
It's a crime if
but these are the things I'm telling. Let's not dwell on that. Let me tell you that even in the education and health, the president has done a lot. Shown, are we not talking about?
Who's have no help the guy at all? You are against women who are successful. That one, man, no, you know go win, no sad. You're not going to win this argument at all. But let's go back to the alcohol thing. I think people who are pushing against this alcohol distribution argument in the North, I know, I'm missing the point. The idea that, you don't want me to sell alcohol or not, but you are sharing with the revenue, the tax. Yo, that's not what federation means at all. Well, if actually we are operating a federative state, federative unit, you understand what that means? Anyway, we'll come back to that. Who's on the comment section? Audios, the deals. I mean, Shehu has been losing it for the past 1 year. He look himself like he know everything, like Rufai Hosseini, always pushing in one narrative. You're supposed to understand that their job is that they are the easiest way to understand this pundit, all these people on TV, is that they are paid to perform. You understand? When you are paid to perform, you have to always dance to the tune of that pay. That's how you survive. So they are paid to do exactly what they are paid to do. So that's why I see them from. I see them in that line. So I know they always take them too serious. But it's always very funny when they perform. Northerners deserve their own country. Everybody deserves his own country, not just the Northerners. If that's the question you're making about, that argument, I don't know where I go win or he go steal. Yeah, this guy finished with Biaramechi. I mean, you see, people, this alcohol and Obi thing is a serious thing. People, there's so many angles to that. People, they look at the consumption, the revenue, the tax. They're not looking at these people still have some morals, whether you like it or not. They are still traditionalists. They are still some things, regardless of how much dollar sign you put on it, no sway. But they are able to voice out this kind of narrative because of the system that we are practicing. It's called federating unit. So the idea is, oh, because I'm sharing the revenue doesn't mean I should not be morally upright again. It no go sell. America is a prime example of what federating unit is about, and then with the practice. Fucking prostitution is legal in Vegas, in Nevada. That doesn't mean if you can't go to North Dakota or Virginia, can't they say you want do prostitution, make them allow, or because they no allow for that, then the revenue sharing formula within the state no go there. That's a very stupid argument to make. It's called federating unit. The idea is because they share your revenue should not upright morally stand what he or she believes. I mean, that's the whole point of being a federating unit, so that you as a unit can be who you are. You are not sacrificing everything in the name of what unity. No, there are still something that you can still hold there, and they don't cross out. I mean, it's ridiculous when people they make that argument. Oh, yeah, they are hypocrisy. You don't want alcohol, but you want the light. No, that's not an argument to make. You can do better. But at the core of that argument still is Obi is a man that is at the forefront of production, from consumption to production. But he is the number one consumer in Nigeria. That's what makes him successful. By ditching production and go straight to consumption, which is the retail business is into. People are not saying that. If they can build a brewery in the north, that doesn't mean they will consume it. Minister Bu, Ange Shaker. Shehu is doing an excellent job. Of course, now not be waiting the pay to do be that. So it's a pay performer. So in terms of the position he's handling, he's doing well. But if we want to analyze the point that he's pushing, you just look as they come. I want we want to say, man, this guy is doing. He's just a performer, but it's okay. He has to push an alternative narrative to broader the conversation. I totally agree. That's why I said he's a pay performer. The ingredient to make alcohol come from the nuts too. That too. But it doesn't really matter. It's a federating unit. You think I don't share my revenue because I don't want. So I mean, should I subjected my citizen, my people to foolishness just because of money? People, I think that's the problem. That is the crossroads that I see that we as a people we are, and somebody is coming. A group of people is coming to actually put a full stop on all this nonsense. Because that is the revolution that is going on across the world. All this idea of open society, it is not a gateway to usher in foolishness and expect everybody to just keep following along. So if people still don't understand why Donald Trump is here, that is why. In the name of civilization, in the name of education, in the name of being an expert, the whole world is going out of control. Things doesn't make sense no more. Somebody is coming to put that common sense into perspective. So you might hate Donald Trump all you want, you might hate Monday Paulo all you want, but guess what? The ordinary people who are making their voice and their grievances heard via these leaders that you don't like with is what matters. So somebody is coming, since not turn by turn, we the South have lost it, right? We've lost our chance of producing someone or a movement that will bring that radical change that Nigeria is dearly need. And I believe strongly that come 2031, I will see somebody or a group of people with a group of ideologues. You don't have to agree with that ideology. But for God's sake, we need sanity. We need sanity. We need something to run through our society and revolutionize a lot of things. Because I see no reason. It doesn't make sense when somebody say, come, this alcohol is not good for me and my people, and somebody will do say, oh, why would you think like that? Just like when they push back to that pastor, stop apologizing to me, just stop what makes you apologizing. It's that simple. Stop planting churches. It's that simple. Oh, somebody will come time and say, oh, you don't have the right to tell a man what to do and what to do. You damn right, I ain't got no right to tell you what to do and what not to do. But guess what? You don't get right to tell me how to actually make my stand either. They say bullets will go kill you, you don't go hear the sound. They are telling you we don't want alcohol. It's that simple. But because of the dollar sign that is attached to it, you are so blind and foolish. Oh, all about the money where they collect. Who gives a fuck about the money? And that's where we are today because of money. Money. And that is the religions I keep saying that we are practicing without even knowing. Capitalism, which the god of that religion is money. If you don't see the reason why these people say we don't need alcohol in our society, you don't have to agree with that reason. That's another point. They say we don't want this. You say, what about the money that is coming with it? Fuck you and your money. Fuck you and your money. This guy is an APC attack dog. Man, he's doing nobody. It's obvious. It's obvious. Ministable, right? It's obvious, but I don't care what he represents. I'm focused on what he's saying. I know you have to support his organ. When he doesn't pull out him logo win. That's what I expected him to say. Anybody will say that when he's in position. Nobody cares about what Anambra as a state does with its investment. The APC, through this clown, is trying to put out a dangerous narrative. Dividing Nigeria. No, it's not painting any dangerous narrative. I don't understand what would be the dangerous narrative is that he's talking about? I don't understand. What is the dangerous narrative that it is pushing? I don't get it. Nobody saying he's not saying Anambra should not invest their money. They are just taking a stand. We don't want this. It's as simple as that. I know that. Yeah, I know. We human. We project what we cannot accept for other people to accept. I don't want this. It's as simple as that. I would expect you. I don't have to actually agree with the reason why you say you don't want it. I don't want this. Take it somewhere else. So I don't see anything wrong in what the guy is saying. Because it is this idea that there are no boundaries. This is everywhere has to be open. Everybody, no. And the result is what we are having today all across the world. So I don't see any dangerous narrative that the guy is pushing. You don't have to agree with him. But it's nothing dangerous or divisive in saying alcohol is not good for us. It's just that simple. Just nothing complicated in that. Just is that conclusion is the most clear statement I will see any political group or union is pushing. It's very simple. It's not complicated at all. I don't want this. You are saying, oh, you must accept that because you collect money. Fuck you and your money. The same thing, the state that say na Sharia we want. If the constitution back it, I ain't got nothing against it. That's what you want. Fine. Can I live in peace with that? Yes. It's just for me to start fucking with you in that direction. Because me, as a human being, there are some things I love doing that you will not like. And I will expect you to respect that. That's how we live in peace. But I also understand humans. We always want to push boundaries. If you don't allow with obedience, they start propaganda. You are being paid by. And also, normal. Normal. So the idea is, when somebody say, you don't want alcohol or not, I am for that. Because I know, say, one day, means they will come out. I go say, this is what I want for my place, and this is what I don't want. And I expect you to respect it. Like, it's that simple. Just respect it. Eh? Respect it so that we live in peace. That's the most important thing. But because of one thing or the other, I go say, no, who is this person? No, then we are going to have a problem. That's why I am advocating for dual sovereignty, state autonomy. Allow every state to develop, to live its best life without necessarily you choking that state for necessary rules and regulation. There are some things that I want you to do as a federation, but there should be a limit. How I utilize the resources within my locality should be my prerogative. How my people live should be my prerogative. In as far I am not encroaching your own fundamental rights, I think we should be able to accept my own way of life, and I will accept yours. We'll live in peace. But in an attempt to blend it, trying to force one against one, then that's where the problem is. Anybody where they live for us, we won't drink beer. Travel, come out, go Lagos, go drink beer, go back. It's that simple. I don't understand. That's isn't that the beauty of a federation for you to able to move around? Eh? Able to move around. I live in Texas. Igbo is not legal. Anytime I want smoke premium Igbo, I have to travel out. That's how federation works. Everybody's happy. Move around. Don't sit down for your house. They detect, say the world must revolve around you. The whole world should, everybody should live as you wish. No. Fuck you. So this APC man, I think I'm with him. I agree with let me see 99% of what he's talking about here. I will vote for himself for president.
Cornell Fund, of almost 400,000 university students collecting loans, celebrating on TV. You take them once in a while. Have we spoken about the cancer center in health ministry?
Now this student loan that I don't agree with him. I don't agree with that policy at all. But okay, no matter how he won't make case for that student loan, I don't agree. That's not that's nothing to do. Especially today that the education system as we see it across the world is useless. Every country, serious. I mean, America is at the front of revolutionary education system. People don't understand why Trump administration is killing Ministry of Education. All it's doing is democratize education again. Let every state educate its citizens as they own faith. This idea that everybody has to learn the same way is what makes the world so fucked up as it is today. God did not actually made us to reason as one. No, everybody is different. But education system fuck everybody up. We all reason the same. And for the fact that anybody refuses to think and see things like you, that person is not fit, is evil, is not educated, is stupid. That's what is destroying us. So for the fact that we still have to even pay to be destroyed is what I don't understand. So the idea of student loan, whatever it can, no matter how it's going to make case for this, I am not for it. And I don't think I will ever be for it. Especially not today that education, you don't even need to actually say, I'll go to social school to be educated. The idea of labor, doctor this, doctor that is gone. It's gone. But what sets you apart then is because you have access to some resources, some books, some whatever you make it that sets you apart. But today, anybody can have access to whatever the fuck you want, kind of knowledge you want. The human being of today only know what he or she is not interested in. If you're interested in it, you will be an expert in it because the materials are out there, free of charge. So I don't agree.
By Ministry of Health, by this president, 6 centers in the 6 geopolitical zones, 1 in Katsina. Why don't you celebrate that? Why don't you celebrate the renovation of Cancer Center that was and the government renovated it? Can't we celebrate the good things or the good development that this government has brought? Over 400,000 students now have taken non-fund loan, and they're paying school fees. In fact, let me tell you, there's something I heard, and I stand to be corrected, that people that are at the 400 level, 500 level university can apply for tuitions they had paid when they started, and non-fund will pay back, reimburse them. Have we ever had that in history? State, federal government secondary schools, free. Technical schools, free. Recently, last 2 months, the Minister of Education announced that, even with stipend of 22,500 naira at the end of every month to students of government secondary schools and technical schools. When last did we hear about this in federal?
So with all of this, is your own opinion that this will guarantee against
Absolutely.
all of these, and the ADC coalition that we're saying, you don't think that's a tsunami coming?
It's a coalition. It's a coalition. It's a coalition of angry people without a strategy. Every one of them wants to be president. They won't be president. Ashwaju will be president till 2031, inshallah. I'll come back. I'll come back 2028 and we'll talk about this.
And that's your opinion. But
yes.
Welcome back. And so we begin with party politics, zeroing in on, of course.
Good education means to create disobedience. When they ask me, what's good education? I said to create dissatisfaction, to create disobedience. I teach creativity and dissidence. And usually, the first class, when I go to my class, I tell them I cannot teach creativity. I cannot teach dissidence. But what I can do is to undo what education did to you. Creativity is to use our common sense, to use our brains. But education prevents us from losing our brains. We use the brains of our professors, and we quote them all the time. We never quote ourselves, and we lose self-confidence by education, because that's how the educational system serves the political system. Each political system has a system of education to control the mind of the people. Without controlling the mind of the people, you cannot rule them, you cannot dominate them. And this is universal. And the education system is more or less a police system to control the mind. It's like to veil the mind, in fact. So my mind was veiled when I graduated from the medical college. I was a very good surgeon, very good physician, but I was ignorant of what's happening in the world. I asked myself, why people become poor? Why the society is divided to poor and rich and classes? Why men oppress women, etc. So this questioning, we are prevented from these questions by education. We become obedient to the system, to the professors, to university. And what is dissidence? Dissidence is to say no to a system that is very unjust. If the law is unjust, I have to break it. It's my right. This is common sense. Creativity means common sense. But when we are educated in a very fragmentary way. We receive pseudo-knowledge, not real knowledge. So I had to re-educate myself.
Putting young kids in debt is something the APC is celebrating as success. This is low and halfway become. Yeah, man, that's I don't. Well, make a note of I don't understand why. The fact that they are not even investing in education in any way, especially to the guy, man. There's problem, man. If something is not done drastically, the way we would suffer. Every nation is changing its education framework and system to align with today's demand. We are not even investing. We know job, but we say they give people loan. But it's all business though, because at the end of the day, we're talking about NIFON or whatever the organization that's in charge is. That's billions of dollars that will come in. Who's going to pay it? The money is coming from somewhere. Somebody is getting it. So they have succeeded in creating an avenue to they siphon billions of naira every year. It's a good deal. So I give them that. And I don't think any government is coming to stop that. Because it's as if it's a gentleman agreement. So they've all agreed that this is the way to go. Especially when we say now foreign institution and be the new, there's any new innovation in our education system at all is that the British people are building their schools in Nigeria, Lagos and Abuja. That's the only innovation that comes into our education system. And student loan. Both is enough gear to either empower the poor, but instead to widen the gap between the poor and the rich. That's what this two initiative is about. Allowing international other nations to come and build their education to come and be educating our kids with their own ideology. And that's a big problem I have with Obi. That's why Obi, that's my biggest problem with him. Bragging that he had returned schools to the missionaries. Like in 2025. I just kind of running my head around that. I don't understand. What kind of progress is that? America, Europe, UK, you have taken loans to fund your education system. And they are paying for it. To teeth and blood. The damage that student loan done to Americans, people don't understand that. Now they don't politicize them. Forgive or not to forgive. Not gonna happen. So if I just look at things, Obi has a lot of things going that is well. I mean, I'm not going to say he's doing wrong because those behind him are strong. Those behind him are strong. Behind his policies and idea that is pushing, behind him is the Catholicism. Just like the Islamic movement is behind wherever that is coming from. No. So is the Catholicism, the power of Catholic is strongly behind Obi. So if if you follow the routes that Obi money is going through. I mean, when I say his money, this 5 million, 2 million, 3 million that is given as a campaign strategy, just follow the routes. You understand it? But more than 60% of those institutions that is giving money are tied to Catholic. In fact, Rufai on channels was on Arise was bragging about it that the nursing school that will be give 15 million. I've been at 1.5 million. Shout out to my governor in Edo State. Irufai was bragging about it, that is the school when Oshomole came on national TV to say excuse me, to say that the school is fully funded by Edo State government. In order to prove Oshomole wrong, Hussein they come national TV, they shout on top of his voice. No, Oshomole lie. That nursing school is built and funded by Catholic. I was like, this motherfucker. If only you know the implication of what you are saying, you know when they talk shut up like that. But I understand, you still need a two-way sword, right? I think that the echo like that, more money will be coming. But at the receiving end, it's not going to bring votes. Not as much as they will expect. So underline this, what we are seeing beneath it is still that what started back in the 5, 6, 6, 7th century is still very much at play in Nigeria. So if you follow those routes, all those institutions that Obi is giving 1 million, 2 million, 1.5, 50 million, they are all tied to Catholic, one way or the other. And that is what an average Islamic ideologue is saying. That's what he's saying. So then they trace out. That's that at the core of it all. That's our problem. Somebody has to win. One ideology has to lead. The diluting factor here is the technology. Is capitalism, right? Who is going to inculcate capitalism into the ideology? I think will come out as a victor. Who will absorb that this modern technology into his ideology? We lead the way. If the Islamic movement accommodates the radicalness of capitalism, they don't need to accept it 100%. So 25% is okay. So we are going to have an Islamic control nation with characteristic of what? Technocracy. Just like the Chinese. Chinese accepted the capitalism and of the West, but they merge it with the characteristic of what they call the Chinese characteristics. They will tell you that the Chinese system of government is a democracy with what? Chinese characteristics. So we are going to have an Islamic nation with a what? Capitalism with a technocracy. So that's where the money is. Data control, data driven, AI, robotic, biotechnology, bioengineering. That's our future. That's exactly what Elon Musk represents. But people don't know. People are carried away about Doge. No. If you actually want to go after ways, not the institution. But no, the institution has to go through changes. And what is coming is technocracy. What if at the core of Elon Musk's complaint is the for inability of those institutions to interact technologically. It was complained that in 2025 they are still using fax machines to communicate. But people are not paying attention and carried away with the antics. The rhetoric between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. But after it all said and done, Washington, D.C. as a whole, instead of 5,000 workers, you will see like just 50 workers. Every other thing is what? Technologically driven. That's what technocracy is all about. That's what Elon Musk is implementing, but people don't get it. The revolution that is here to stay will never share. Maybe before people will actually say, wow, this is where we are. It will take the war will visit everybody. The war is actually going on right now. Ukraine is hosting. Iran don't sign up to host. Nigeria is warming up to host one version of that war. That's why people don't understand World War. To understand this war that is upon us, you have to go back to World War One. And so it travel. Ideologies were in conflict. Socialism, capitalism, the conservative, everything was at war in 1800, leading to 1914, which is the First World War. The idea of a nation state also at the very core of it. That's exactly what we are experiencing today. So every countries are picking oaths to that, just like the Olympics, right? They are bidding. Iran don't signify say yes, even though they were forced. They were forced. They don't get choice. They have to retaliate, right? So I think the final host will be Taiwan. When the final is America and China, we go with the final battle. Whoever come up victory will lead the world. It's technology. They are not coming. The Chinese are not coming to tell you how to run, how to govern yourself. The American will not come and tell you directly. But the technology that will be at play, we do it indirectly. We are raising closer to hinge of singularity. Everything will be controlled one, if not by botting, but from one institution or few institutions that will run the world. If you go read The Coming Wave, everything will submerge to be one. The big brother, right? Just like the Brave New World. It's already here. The internet will be the host of those controls, those platforms, because, hey, technocracy is where we are. Everything we detect from far. Doesn't matter where you are. If your food, your agriculture is already, it's not, your agriculture has already gone through evolution, right? Has gone through industrialization, mechanized farming. Its last stage is what? Biogenically motivated. Will be linked with what? Physical AI. That means the seed is already biochemically generated. Then the physical labor of it will also be contracted to physical robots. So you'll be seeing fewer and fewer involved in what? Feeding the whole globe. So that's, I want to be that. Communication is going to be revolutionary, going through one channels. We are going to have a device that will make this our cell phone useless. Just like nobody go they carry landline, they walk out now, right? These are our smartphones as we use this. This is it. It's end. Then at the end we did so. The next generation of gadget we see will be so compacted that we need to carry big team. Maybe not just want something good, or just by verbal communication, virtual viewing, just up to have a pin, not like a button or whatever. It's coming. So everything is merging. The finance is already merged thanks to Obama administration. I want button now. So when everything is submerging like that, at the end of the day, you have just maybe 2 to 5 platform corporation that will pretty much run everything to planet Earth. It's pretty much what they mean by age of singularity. The question you'll now be asking yourself, you as a people, as a society, where would you belong? Would you have a say in that word or not? Anyway, that's a conversation for another day, ladies and gentlemen. I think I enter street. So what are you talking about? Nigerian government, its education is expensive. Try ignorance and try ignorance. No, that's not the point he's trying. That's not the point he's making. Why would they tell say our school day is expensive? Who make an expensive? Who make an expensive? If it's expensive, he said that we are not the originator of that education system. No be we they dictate how the system should work. That's what it means. Because if it's too expensive, we bring the price down. Now we get down. Now we build down. You reduce it, unless there are other forces who are in charge. So the idea is not say your own education system is expensive. Then whom are you talking to? So the question is that why would education be expensive if the goal is to educate the whole society? Well, that's not the goal. The goal is to uneducate, is to make the society useless and foolish via education. To drive that point home, maybe I play this our teacher for today and call it a day. I will come back later.
Good education means to create disobedience. When they ask me, what's good education? I said to create dissatisfaction, to create disobedience. I teach creativity and dissidence. And usually, the first class, when I go to my class, I tell them, I cannot teach creativity. I cannot teach dissidence. But what I can do is to undo what education did to you. Creativity is to use our common sense, to use our brains. But education prevents us from losing our brains. We use the brains of our professors, and we quote them all the time. We never quote ourselves, and we lose self-confidence by education, because that's how the educational system serves the political system. Each political system has a system of education to control the mind of the people. Without controlling the mind of the people, you cannot rule them. You cannot dominate them. And this is universal. And the education system is more or less a police system to control the mind. It's like to veil the mind, in fact. So my mind was veiled. When I graduated from the medical college, I was a very good surgeon, very good physician, but I was ignorant of what's happening in the world. I asked myself, why people become poor? Why the society is divided to poor and rich and classes? Why men oppress women, etc. So this questioning, we are prevented from these questions by education. We become obedient to the system, to the professors, to university. And what is dissidence? Dissidence is to say no to a system that is very unjust. If the law is unjust, I have to break it. It's my right. This is common sense. Creativity means common sense. But when we are educated in a very fragmentary way. We receive pseudo-knowledge, not real knowledge. So I had to re-educate myself.